For those who have played Valorant, you would know there are 4 main roles to pick from: Controller, Duelist, Initiator, and Sentinel. However, not everyone knows about the hidden hybrid and sub-roles that are in the game that are not strictly defined. Today, we'll discuss these roles and how they impact the game. The key idea behind controller agents is their ability to block vision from the opposition via the use of smokes. However, I believe each controller can be categorized into 3 main sub-roles based on their skill set. The pure controller role has only one agent, and this is Brimstone. Now, this is because Brimstone's abilities do not have too much flexibility when it comes to playstyle. However, his smokes are the strongest in the game due to the fact they last the longest, and the only smokes to be filled in. Yet, the counter to this is that they have a set range based on your position, and you only have 3 of them, and they don't regen. This means often you have to play double controller when someone is playing Brimstone. But he also has one of the strongest mollies in the game. However, mainly people play Brimstone because of his strong smokes. The Sentinel controller role is a hybrid between, you guessed it, Sentinel and controller. In my opinion, this includes 2 agents, Viper and Astra. 2 main components feed into this narrative: their lockdown potential. Both Astra and Viper have the ability on defense to stall a push made by the attackers. Astra by the use of mainly the gravity well, and Viper by the use of the mollies and orb. The latter might arguably be stronger than the actual Sentinel stall ability. Number 2. Their lurk ability on attack. Astra's range of abilities is unrestricted, allowing her to be anywhere on the map and still help her team with her smokes, allowing her to lurk. Viper's wall and orb are also activatable at any range, which means that she can lurk or go with the team. The most common example of this is on Bind, with the lurk wall towards A. This forces the defenders to use utility to clear behind the wall to make sure someone has not lurked up. To be honest, I could do a whole video on why Viper is so versatile, but that's for another video. Again, this sub-role works well with the double controller setup and can be mixed up with a myriad of different agents. This is probably the most aggressive sub-role in the controller category. Initiating controllers are comprised of Omen and Harbour. What sets them apart from other controllers is that a lot of their kit can set up the team to take space and fight for map control. First, let's look at Omen's kit. His flash is incredibly strong for pushing players back and allowing duelists to take space and fight. The TPs can also create distractions and allow the Omen player to take space with the duelists. Harbour, on the other hand, has a key bit of utility that aids in taking space, and that is his Cascade. Combining with other utility, the Cascade can be incredibly useful in splitting up angles to take fights and control. A good example of this is towards Lotus on A main. Most duelists are known for their ability to create space for the team. However, there of course is some variation on what a duelist can do. Duelists can be split up into 4 sub-roles. Fast Dive means that the duelist has the ability to speed onto site the fastest. Jet has her dash, Neon has her sprint and wall, and Raze has her satchels. This allows the duelist to create fast attractions and chaos on the defending player. Slow Dive, on the other hand, means that the duelist still has the ability to create space and chaos, however it's much slower and methodical. Phoenix being the only duelist in this sub-role due to his flashes and his wall. His ult also contributes to this, pushing the players back and getting info. The info lurk role is a bit of a hybrid role. Yoru is the only duelist in this role because of its ability to get info with his clone and other abilities. You can also lurk on any map due to his TPs, allowing him to regroup with the team whilst also getting info. Hitting a site with Yoru requires great timing with the Initiator abilities because of the TP delay. This role is most commonly played on Bind because of the teleporters, which allows for great versatility when it comes to plays you can make with Yoru. The last Duelist sub-role is what I call ADC, taking from League of Legends. Reyna is the only agent that fits in this category, because Reyna solely relies on getting kills to create space for the team, and is arguably the most selfish duelist. I did a whole video on why Reyna is one of the most hated agents in Valorant. You can check it out on my channel or in the description. Initiators are there to assist a team in getting kills, map control, or info by the use of different abilities in their kit, such as flashes, stuns, and recons. They can be split up into 3 distinct sub-roles. Unlike the other Initiator sub-roles on this list, the hard support role is probably the most selfless. Breach is the only agent in this role, as most of his kit is best suited when teammates capitalize off it. For example, his stuns and flashes work far better with a jet dash than if a Breach player flashes or stuns for himself. His aftershock can be used in multiple different ways as well, denying entry or retake, one-plant denial, and forcing players out of cover. Info really says what it is on the tin. They are designed to get information for the team. Looking at Fade's kit, the eye is solely used for info, then combined with the dogs, they can be used to force players back and get additional info on where the player is going. The ult also gives a huge amount of info, allowing you to clear whole areas on the map. Sova's kit works a little bit differently. Sova's arrow has a much larger range than the Fade eye, meaning you can get info from pretty much anywhere on the map. The drone also gives guaranteed info on where the player is and can be used to often counter orbs. His shock darts are more of a DPS util, however they can be used to clear out low HP players. His ult is great in many different scenarios, such as sight hits or combo plays. The hybrid role really is the most flexible Initiator role and combines both the previous sub-roles with flashes. The last 3 agents, Skye, KO and Gecko. Skye's abilities have great flexibility. Her flashes don't have to be used just for their blinding ability, but they can also be used for getting info. The dog can be used to both clear on attack and re-clear whole areas on defense. The heal is also a great supporting ability, as it can heal multiple teammates at once. Her ult, also being one of the strongest in the game, is great for both info and forcing players back. KO is also very versatile. The flashes can be used in many different ways. You can self-flash, or you can use them very supportively, for example on B-site Ascent. The dagger, much like the Sova dart, can be used to get info anywhere on the map. It can be used to deny a sight hit, and on attack it can be used for both getting info and suppressing key lockdown agents, for example Killjoy, Cypher or Viper. The molly can be used to flush out angles, and his ult can stop the effectiveness of a sight hit, and also greatly aid in taking sights and retakes. Gecko is a pretty unique agent with his creatures that are reclaimable. Dizzy is more of an info ability than a flash, as his flash isn't that strong. Wingman can also provide info like a raise boom bot, but can also support with a diffuse or plant. The latter allows for more teammates to take good positions on a post plant. The molly is not great for denying space, but it is good for clearing angles. His ult is very good at forcing players back, and can be both used in entering a site and stopping sight hits on defense. The key principle behind Sentinels is their ability to lock down a site on defense. They can be put into 3 main sub-roles. Info lockdown gives you guaranteed information from abilities such as a Cypher Cam and Killjoy turret. Stall lockdown slows down the push made by the attackers with the use of stuns and slows. And aggressive lockdown takes the fight to the attackers to stall them. I have already done a whole video on Sentinels and their applications, and why one certain agent, Deadlock, is really the weakest. You can check it out here, as I feel I don't want to rehash some concepts in another video. So that's it for this video. Of course, there are an infinite amount of sub-roles, and sub-roles that are not based on main roles. So if you have any examples, leave them in the comments below.